Hello, I'm Bianca from Johnston Consulting. I'd firstly like to say thank you for taking the time to meet with Johnston Consulting and allowing me to talk to you about what I think has the potential to be a really successful relationship. Johnston Consulting is Tasmania's leading marketing consultancy firm. Our focus is to help businesses grow exponentially through developing targeted marketing campaigns aligned with overall business goals. We have a unique and creative team with members trained in areas such as public relations, branding, social media, and communications. Johnston Consultancy is different as we recognise marketing isn't singular, it's collaborative. We want to work with your team to deliver upon your business goals through strategic marketing strategies. I am here today to present a pitch on how Wrest Point Revolving Restaurant currently uses their communication tools and the limitations that arise within these current strategies, as well as how these can be overcome with the use of targeted market segmenting and more detailed revised strategies. Wrest Point, and more particularly the Point Revolving Restaurant, is clearly a hugely successful organisation. However, through analysis, we've discovered a major limitation that we think needs to be addressed. Currently, Point Revolving Restaurant marketing is not target market specific. There is a need to recognise that not all customers are the same, and by taking a one-size-fits-all approach, we believe we are overlooking a large market segment. We have broken down your target market into two segments, tourists and locals, and have designed tailored marketing campaigns to these specific consumer groups. The first segment we have addressed is both international and interstate tourists. This is a market segment you already target through encouraging guests who use the accommodation provided at Wrest Point, as well as through the use of travel brochures that appear in information centres and by being featured on tourism websites such as Discover Tasmania. What you are currently doing is beneficial, and we believe this should continue into the future. In addition, you can further target this segment by establishing Point Revolving Restaurant as a unique and iconic experience. You have a primary unique selling point of 360 views of Hobart's best sites, such as Mount Wellington and Tasman Bridge. By marketing this as an iconic experience, Point Revolving Restaurant can be turned into a destination for culinary tourists. In order to achieve this, we propose targeting tourists as they come into the state by advertising in airports and on cruise ships in the form of banners and brochures. In addition, investing in keyword marketing, which involves associating your business with keywords, in this case could be words such as Tasmania and restaurant, on search engines will also be valuable. Moving on to the second segment we want to address, as we believe is currently being overlooked, is Hobart's locals. We recognise Point Revolving Restaurant is competing in a competitive marketplace. In order to survive in this marketplace, management need to understand and adapt to changing market trends. A predominant trend we have found among Hobart locals is a trend toward eating locally and sustainably, and we've designed a campaign with this trend in mind. We believe the key to reaching locals is through social media. The first step in achieving this would be creating a social media presence that is separate from Wrest Point. In line with launching Point Revolving Restaurant's social media platform on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, a new campaign would be launched which we would encourage head chef Andrew Kropp to be the face of. This campaign will feature Andrew meeting with Hobart producers, winemakers, butchers and at local farmers markets, as well as photos of new specials naming where the produce has come from. As a result, the campaign will feed food lovers' demand for a deeper connection to what they're eating and drinking, as well as provide locals with a sense of community. In addition, to ensure customers in the restaurant feel the focus of local sustainable food, we encourage you to incorporate the names of farms into the menus and ensure that front of house staff are knowledgeable on the provenance of the food. In conclusion, Johnston Consulting feel Point Revolving Restaurant will benefit from a more target market focused approach by considering the target market into two segments, tourists and locals. Tourists can be targeted by presenting Point Revolving Restaurant as an iconic experience. Locals, on the other hand, can be targeted through the use of social media platforms, as well as taking into account the trend that consumers have the concern of eating locally and sustainably. We've now come to the end of the presentation. I hope I have been able to clearly outline the limitations facing Point Revolving Restaurant's marketing communications, as well as how Johnston Consulting can implement solutions to these issues. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to hearing from you further.